I don't want this lesson to turn into a creative session. It might turn into that because I want to move away from this endoskeleton that we've currently got in our prompt, and let's go and explore a completely different model. So the first thing I'm going to do is on my AI generation tools, I'll scroll down to the bottom and hit reset to defaults, move back onto our home screen of Leonardo AI, and let's scroll through some of the recent creations, and perhaps we'll do something related to a samurai, maybe some type of art that relates to the Japanese style of creation. The first thing I'm going to do is in recent creations, change the toggle to top rather than trending, and let's have a look at some of the top recent creations. I quite like this over here. It's a muted Chinese ink painting and it's running on the Leonardo diffusion model. The resolution seems like it would fit on a 9:16 video, so a vertical video like Instagram Reels or TikTok. I'll copy this prompt and we'll select the Leonardo diffusion model. I'm going to avoid using prompt magic at the moment. So the image dimensions were 512 by 1024, and over in type a prompt, I'm going to press Command V or Control V on your keyboard, and let's see if we can play around with it a bit. So we've got muted Chinese ink painted, muted colors, rice paper texture, splash ink, Nin Bin Town, boat, red sun, old cottage, lakeside, morning light, clouds, wet to wet techniques. I think at the start of this, I'm going to go ahead and write the word samurai. Hit generate and let's see the prompts that we're given. I've currently got only 2 number of images selected, and that's pretty cool. I genuinely like this first image. Let's head over to prompt generation and type the word samurai, blood moon, as this was missing in the first image. If I hit ideate, I'll get 4 prompts that relate to the 2 nouns that I've used, which is samurai and blood moon. And I believe this second prompt seems to encapsulate what I'm looking for and might relate heavily back to the initial prompt that I've got, which is a fierce samurai silhouetted against a crimson sky, brandishes a sword in the light of a blood moon. So I'm going to Command V or Control V, copy, remove the word samurai and put this at the front of the prompt that we've got. I'll change the number of images to 4 and let's hit generate. Now, after hitting generate, you should go back over to image generation, which is next to prompt generation. And you should have the 4 images or how many ever images you've selected against the new prompt that you've created. So here we have 4 images which relate heavily to our initial prompt. I do like this second image that Leonardo has given me. So let's go ahead and work with this. In this lesson, what I actually want to explore with you is the guidance scale, which is located over here underneath the image dimension. And what the guidance scale does is basically direct Leonardo or the diffusion sampler model in how much of the prompt it should consider when generating its image. So if I completely push this all the way down to 1 and hit generate, and then at the same time, I'll push it all the way to 20 and hit generate. You'll notice where I've selected a guidance scale of 1, the images have come back pretty fast. This is simply because there's not much consideration that needs to be taken into account in relation to the prompt itself. However, the results are really good, which is quite shocking. Again, I'm leaning more towards this second image here. I could imagine splitting these layers and have this particular samurai moving and maybe some text on top in a creation video. And if I scroll up, we have another set of images which are heavily related to the prompt. And from a creativity perspective, I'm leaning a lot towards this final image here. Again, I can see me splitting this out and perhaps adding some movement in post-production. But relatively, you'll find that not many people play around with the guidance scale. It can yield a large amount of variation on your images, and you'll find that majority of images have a guidance scale of around about 7 or 8. Usually a halfway house between the prompt and the diffusion model is best.